Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in this video, we're gonna take a look at PulseChain as a whole and look at a couple of different projects. And remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Make sure you use risk capital only. And if you could do me a favor, give the video a like, leave any comments below, and subscribe to the channel. It'll greatly help me out. So, Hex P-Hex on PulseChain has been kind of the subject. Richard Hart, over the last couple of weeks, actually, he's been tweeting quite a bit about P-Hex. So earlier today, 8 hours ago, he says Hex is up 45% today, and he says no investment advice, past performance, no guarantee of future. But, it seems to be, kind of trending that way up, like you said, up 45% at the time of that tweet. And if we look now over the last 24 hours, it is up 24.97%, sitting at a $6.3 billion market cap. And let's take a quick look at it. Yeah, that the volume looks pretty good, 27.9 million in liquidity, so you can easily get in and out of trades, but it's looking pretty healthy. I think a lot of people are finally kind of heeding the word of Richard Hart. Again, not financial advice, but they're kind of heeding the word of what he's saying, that, we want to essentially focus more on P-Hex, and it has that potential to run. Looks like we got 4.1 million in buy volume versus 2.8 million in sell volume. And there's some volume coming in here for these buys and sales. Now there's a huge sell-off. Somebody sold, 1.3 million worth of Hex, another 2.1 million worth of Hex, or $23,000 plus they sold. But some nice healthy buy and sell pressure that I'm kind of seeing. But we will kind of see, how this plays out as far as, the narrative of Hex. I think on the Ethereum side, I believe it got around 50 to 51 cents last bull run. Can this one do better than that on the PostChain side this upcoming bull run? 50 cents. Definitely that's achievable. $1, again, this is achievable. And some may be saying that is, not moon boyish enough, but I believe over time, a lot of people will see the benefits of being on PostChain with the continued uptime and the low gas fees. You want to be on a reliable chain where there's cool narratives of getting different coins pegged. And, also people that were on Ethereum, remember, you got copies of whatever coins you had on Ethereum. Those were copied over to PostChain for free. So that's something to consider, something to kind of entice people to get over. But there's a lot of cool narratives over here. And again, another project, SolidX. That's another project that's been kind of, getting like a lot of traction on PostChain. Now, I am not in SolidX, but let's take a look. Let's go back. I know it's been a really recent project. It's only been 17 days, but it ran all the way up to what? $263, and it's kind of pulled back some. Don't quote me on this. I believe that the supply is limited for this project. Yep, the supply is definitely limited. Looks like there's 21 million of SolidX. A lot of whales that are in this particular project. So, it's going to be very, very volatile. So not in this one, but it's brought some more eyeballs to PostChain, ranked number 2. It's trending, pretty nicely, $1.5 billion market cap. So we'll see how that one goes. Another project that I was asked to talk about, as I put up a different video earlier on DripX and DrippyEno, and somebody had asked, hey, can you do a PostChain video on DieHard? And this is another project, sitting at a $2.4 million market cap. It's a fairly young project, and I've heard nothing with it. I've heard nothing but good things. This project, what it does is it gives you DAI reflections. So it gives you DAI reflections. So every deal rewards you with a bold 10% in PostChain DAI. So, and this is a pretty cool website that they put together. And, I've been seeing, kind of the chatter on X as far as this project's concerned. I've seen some people have already accumulated like some upwards of, 100,000 in DAI over the last, 14 something days. They've accumulated quite a bit, but, again, another cool narrative. DieHard, and is backed by PDAI, and it continues to impress. Let me see if I can get this contract address. Oh, so not bad. That's a cool narrative. Only 7.7 million in supply. So, like the naming of it, DieHard. I mean, this thing, it runs hard, because it was down here roughly 10 cents, and then what did it peak at? Yeah, roughly around 83 cents, and ever since then, I think the people that kind of got into this project early have just been holding, because the DAI rewards have been pretty impressive, since you're getting 10% of kind of what's coming in. I believe that's 10% on buys and sales. Yeah, purchases and sales. Yeah, so, and you can come here and you can check your rewards. So definitely a solid looking project. Let's see, how many holders? Yeah, already over 2,055 holders. So they have quite the fan base. And remember, the whole narrative is to get PDAI pegged to $1. So what better way than to hold a coin which is hard, which has the potential to run because of that low supply, but also you get those DAI reflections. So it's DieHard, and you get PDAI reflections. This is a nice play. Let's see if anybody. Yeah, again, nice to see some nice and healthy buy and sell pressure. People continue to scoop up these rewards here. It's nice to see they got a website, Twitter page, and they got the Telegram there. So feel free to go check those out. And let's see, moving on. But yeah, again, like I said, a lot of solid projects, a lot of solid narratives that I am seeing on PulseChain. Let's see, Icarus. Now that is one that I am in. Icarus is up 8.72% over the last 24 hours. This is a project that I'm in, and the holders are continuing to grow. And for this particular project, they will be doing a staking, in which you can potentially stake your excuse me, your Icarus or Wings and get some sort of incentive type token. So they haven't disclosed the name of what that token will be, but more to come on that. And the community it's strong and mighty. I want to say let's go here real quick. The supply is, yeah, it's 1 million in supply, so not too bad there. And you already know the narrative behind. Wings. Wings, the developer essentially just roughly 1.94 million. He just burnt that supply of tokens. So this token only has a supply of 60,000. So if the right amount of volume comes in with only 60,000 supply, then this will send. So I'm just keeping some because you never know what could happen. On the website, they did add the information as far as find Icarus and Wings on, 9-inch deck screener PulseX. It is on Go Post 2. So you can go there and swap your PLS for Icarus. But, got the roadmap here and we're good to go there. What else we got going on PostChain? Teddy Bear, huge fans of Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear, in my opinion, it will melt faces, in my opinion. For me, this is a meme. I'm going to hold. The beauty of PostChain is they have all these liquidity pairs together as far as tokens backing Teddy Bear, DAI backs, PDAI backs Teddy Bear, Tropa, PostChain backs Teddy Bear. So it has all these different liquidity pairs, so you'll be able to get in and out of trades. And once everything pumps, this is pumps with it. So for me, with Teddy Bear, it's nothing to lose. It's, we're feeling pretty good about Teddy Bear. I have more Teddy Bear, and I'm happy with it. But the beauty of this is not a Jeep fest as much on PostChain, because Solana is a different beast. Like, they're in and out of trades in like 2 seconds, and it's up to an astronomical market cap, then it just bottoms to nothing. With PostChain, there's new higher highs, and it just kind of just builds and builds and builds and builds, which I like with a lot of these projects on here. But yeah, people are still buying and trading Teddy Bear. We like Teddy Bear. The holders, I want to say, yeah, I think we should be over. We should be over. Let's go back here and look. Let's go back. There we go. Yeah, 16,276. So we are inching towards 17,000. I mean, it's been an amazing journey as far as the amount of holders that have slowly but surely, this number just continues to go up. So 17,000, give it a week, this number will be up. But more and more people that come on to PostChain are realizing, let me grab some Bear. What a great opportunity to be in a meme coin. $30 million market cap. Some have said this will go to $1 billion in the community. But, going into the bull run, I'm going to hold a bag. We're here to make gains and, have the unthinkable happen. And again, we like the narrative of Teddy Bear and kind of like the growing community. Let's see if we can find. Let's look at PostChain real quick. Up 5.556 over the last 24 hours. So it moved up a little bit. So 408329. Now the PostChain gained a 0, but this is an opportunity, potentially, not financial advice, for somebody to dollar cost average in at these low prices, because hypothetically, what if PostChain goes on an absolute rip during the bull run, right? What if it gets to 1 cent and you have a nice little bag at that 1 cent mark, right? What if it gets there? Again, who knows what could happen, but the potential of gains is there. And again, we don't know what's going to happen with these different blockchains, as far as uptime. What if something happens with one of the other blockchains and there's not enough uptime? Or maybe there's a new narrative where the onboarding gets easier and easier and easier to get into PostChain, and more people decide quickly to get in. Well, you're going to be ahead of the curve if you got you a bag of PulseChain. So, we like PulseChain and what this layer 1 solution has to offer. Let's see. And I'm kind of all over the place. This is not scripted at all. We're just kind of just going off the cuff. People want PulseChain info and PulseChain talk. So we're going to give them PulseChain talk. Incentive token, $3.81. Huge fan of incentive token. Still feel incentive token can get to $100. And I believe last I checked, it was roughly around 25 million, 26 million in supply. Don't quote me on that. Maybe a little bit more. But the thing with this, again, a lot of people kind of believe in it. Of the Richard Hart top 4, this is the one that would have the potential to have more gains. We've seen this just all of a sudden just be kind of just going slow, then boom, it just kind of just goes on a tear, and it's up 7.39% over the last 24 hours. So we like incentive. No problem with incentive. We like incentive, and being able to farm it on PulseX farms, and the potential of gains with this coin. Let's look to see, did anybody, people are accumulating, some are selling, there's a huge buy of 71K. So somebody bought 18,966. Then somebody bought another almost 108 grand. Somebody went really heavy into incentive. So this is a key indicator. You see stuff like this. There are strong believers out there. So that is definitely cool to see there. And yeah. And let's go to top gainers. Do we have DIE here? Yeah, DIE got as high as 2 zeros, almost 9, I want to say. 2 zeros, high 8s. And it, was inching closer and closer. The next step for PDAI is to get to 1 cent. Once it gets to 1 cent, then I think more and more people are going to just pile in and get more DIE. I plan to get more PDAI, add to my bags. Again, the narrative, a lot of us will make some nice gains, regardless of what position you're in. If you've been kind of adding a little bit to your bag here and there, you're going to be good to go. But over how many holders does it have now? It's crazy. Let me, again, doing this kind of all on the fly. Let's do research. All this on the fly. Yeah, over 500,000 plus holders. Not everybody is even in the Telegram. of these holders. So there's more people outside of the ecosystem. They're just kind of just silently in the back holding, but this narrative is getting more and more a possibility every day, especially when more and more projects come in that are incorporating DAI, like DieHard, where you get those DAI reflections. But yeah, I mean, the narrative is getting stronger and stronger. I will, it's when it's down. Yeah, I'll add to my position here. Grab some more DAI. If I do anything today, grab a little bit more DAI. But strong narrative, liquidity is looking strong. $140 million market cap. So let's see if this gets pegged to $1. And the whole thing of Richard Hart potentially, feeding it back into the ecosystem and propping up PostChain, adding more funds into PostChain. So we got to kind of think about that too. Let's see, top gainers. And one last one, we're going to look at Wrap Bitcoin on PostChain. Again, this is another one that I feel at its height on PostChain. This is a copy. So this is Wrap Bitcoin on PostChain, sitting at $286.37. This is another one where, hold a couple and see what happens. If you got more than that, good for you, right? Look, they're still believing in the narrative. They just bought 4. So a nice little bag, bought over $1,000 worth. But what if this gets back to $2,000 as its all-time high? What if this pairs to the price of Bitcoin and you have one of them, you have 2 of them, you have 10, 20. Then, for me, it's worth the risk. For me, not financial advice, but that's me. Everybody's situation is different. For me, it's worth the risk. Sure, I'll hold a couple, see what happens. If it moons and it pegs to the Bitcoin price, so be it. If it falls short, gets to 2,000, gets to 5,000, gets to 10,000, I'll take it. You narratives kind of drive everything on PostChain, but even Richard Hart kind of silently he softly plugged, I guess, Wrap Bitcoin and PDAI. He plugged them on his tweets not too long ago. So, well, I wouldn't say like a soft shield. He shielded, so just to get more eyes on the PostChain. So, we'll see what happens. But I'm, for the most part, a lot of cool narratives kind of happening, talking about PostChain. We talked about, Teddy Bear. We talked about SolidX. We talked about DieHard, Incentive, PostChain, Wrap Bitcoin. Did I name Teddy Bear? Teddy Bear, Hex, and a slew of projects that we have talked about. So we'll continue to talk about PostChain, but exciting times for this layer 1 blockchain as narratives are driving people to PostChain and the potential for gains because you are getting in at low prices with those potentially, moving in an upward direction. So we'll see how this plays out. Thanks for listening and thanks for stopping by.